Students, today we will be starting with the topic human health and disease, right? And as you all know that 30% of the syllabus is reduced and we have only this part left for our discussion. So let us start with this. This is the last topic of our discussion for class 9. Now health is complete physical, mental, social well-being. So when we talk about health, we will talk about the physical well-being, the mental and the social well-being all together. We will not talk about any one topic like physical health or mental health or social health. We'll talk about all the aspects of life, that is physically how the person is, how mentally whether he is fit or not, and socially how he can manage, how he can talk with others, how he can speak, how he can behave. All these things to be taken care of while we are discussing what? Health. Okay. So, and what is a disease? If you can say that diseases are what? Diseases are whenever there is any problem in any three spheres like physical, mental and social. If there is any problem, if that is not good, that phase of life is not good, then that means the person is suffering from a disease, either mental disease, social or physically the person is unfit. Okay. So any problem in these three spheres of life leads to what? The disease. Okay. So what are the factors that will affect our health? As you can see, the genetic disorders are there. If there are any problem from the beginning, like from the life, whenever the child is in this mother's womb, from that time only some problems can arise. Okay. These are the deficiencies with which the child is born. Then there can be infections too, and also third point, there can be the problems in lifestyles and habits, right? So genetic disorders, the problems that are caused from birth only, the child suffers from these from mother's womb. These are the deficiencies, the defects that a child is born with. Then infection can occur anytime in life, and lifestyles and also our habits leads to either good health or bad health. We will talk about the point how to maintain good health. As you all know, how will you maintain a good health? If you want to maintain good health, you have to maintain a balanced diet. You have to maintain your personal hygiene, that is neatness and cleanliness. You have to do regular exercise. People have to be aware of the diseases and their effects. There are vaccinations for which everyone should be aware of. Proper disposal of waste should be taken care of, and control of what? The vectors. The disease carrying organisms are called what? Vectors. So there should be control of vectors. Like mosquito is a vector for the disease malaria. So everyone should know about how to control the vectors like mosquito. So all these are the points like balanced diet, personal hygiene, regular exercise, okay, and awareness of the disease and their effects, vaccination, proper disposal of waste. All these are the points to maintain the good health. That is how we should maintain the good health. Health in what aspect? In all the spheres of life, mental, physical and social well-being of a person. We'll talk about the different types of diseases. One set of disease is infectious disease and the other set is non-infectious disease. As you can see here, infectious disease and non-infectious disease. Now, infectious diseases are those that can be transmitted from one person to another, like cold, common cold, flu, AIDS, okay, which can be transmitted from one person to another, and non-infectious disease which cannot be transmitted from one person to another, like cancer. It cannot be transmitted from one person to another. So, how many types of diseases we have? We have two types, like infectious and non-infectious disease, okay. So, infectious disease will be transmitted from one person to another, like the common cold. If you have common cold, you should cover your mouth through a handkerchief. Okay, and why you should cover your mouth with handkerchief? Because if droplets will go in the air, then the other person who is sitting beside you can catch the cold from you, because this is infectious. And for non-infectious disease like cancer, it cannot be transmitted from one person to another. Now what about the good health? What do you mean by good health? Just now I told that health means The person should be physically fit, mentally fit and socially fit. Then only we can say that the person is having a good health. So for a dancer, the good health will mean what? That means the dancer should be able to stretch his body into difficult and graceful positions. So that is his or her good health. And for the musician who sings, the good health will be the breathing capacity, how to control the notes. Whatever instrument he is playing, how can he control? These are the good health points for different types of artists. Different people work in different areas. What will be their good health type when they are trying to focus on their jobs, how they are handling it. So that is their good health. So we can be in poor health, our condition can be poor health wise, but there may not be any disease, because we are related to the society, we are related to ourselves by having proper physical fitness or mental fitness. So that health is not good. That means maybe we are not suffering from any disease, but our health is not good mentally or socially. And if you think of disease, that means some problem is there in our body. Okay, some problem may be there in our body which can cause mental, physical and social illness. Now for this we are studying about different types of disease like infectious disease and non-infectious disease. So diseases are caused, if any problem is there in the body, this will be caused by certain organisms. Okay, so the body's functions may be damaged, or there may be certain symptoms of the disease, like if you are having a headache or water is flowing through your nose, you have a lot of mucus, you are coughing. So these are the symptoms of the disease. Okay, and you have to do some tests to find out what are the causes of the diseases. Right. So we have the point, that is infectious disease and non-infectious disease. The disease causing organisms are called what? Pathogens. Like bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, helminths. These are the disease causing pathogens. Disease causing organisms are called what? Pathogens. Like what? Bacteria, this, viruses, fungi, protozoa and helminths. Helminths are what? Worms. Now some organisms can stay over our body inside or outside. So these are called what? Parasite. When the body has a parasite inside, so then we call it as endoparasite. And when the parasite exists externally, like head louse. Okay, most of the girls with long hairs have lice in them. So this is because of this parasite which grows, that is called the lice, which is called an external parasite or ectoparasite that stays on the human body or any animals also. Animal skin also have some lice present in their hairs. Okay, so these are the parasite which will get their nutrition from the living body, from the other living body, like this can be called as a host. So we have the pathogens which are disease causing organisms, and the parasite also can cause disease because they can stay inside our body or outside. That means externally they can be present on skin or hair. These are called what? Parasite. Like I'll give an example of parasite is a lice of the body, which is external parasite, and internal parasite is, I will write about tapeworm. The body will have certain worms inside the body. This is called what? The tapeworm. These worms are tapeworm which stays inside the intestine of some people. Okay, so like this type of worm, roundworms, ascari, so many worms can be there inside our body. Pinworms, which acts as parasite, derive the nutrition from our body, in turn harms our body. So these are called what? Parasite. Okay, so disease can be caused by pathogen, and also their disease can be caused by some organisms which stay in our body as what? Parasites. We will discuss about different types of pathogenic organisms that cause diseases. Just now I told about bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, helminths. So let us discuss about some of the diseases that are caused by this type of pathogens. Now here Salmonella typhi is a bacteria which will cause the disease that is called typhoid. Okay. Now these are the disease we are talking about now is bacterial disease. Now this is typhoid. Okay. So this will be passed on to the body by contaminated food and water. If you are drinking water anywhere which is not clean, if you are taking the food that is some days old, okay, so through this infected food and water, the bacteria will travel to the small intestine and then will spread to other organs. So this type of disease is called what? Typhoid, where you can have fever which is very high and you feel weakness also, you feel like vomiting. So the symptoms include very high fever and weakness. So when you are having this type of typhoid, this disease, so you feel very weak, you are having high fever and you have a vomiting tendency to, you can't eat anything. This type of disease is called what? Typhoid, caused by the bacteria Salmonella typhi. More symptoms can include stomach pain, loss of appetite, headache, intestinal perforation, and it may lead to death also. Okay, there may be stomach pain, you can have loss of appetite, and also you may not like to eat food. There may be intestinal holes formed by the bacteria and that can lead to death. So how will you test this? There is a test method which is called the Widal test, by which you can test that whether the person is suffering from typhoid or not. Next we come to the bacteria Streptococcus pneumoniae. I have written here the scientific names. If you can write Haemophilus influenzae, which causes what? Pneumonia. Okay, this is the infection of the alveoli of the lungs. Pneumonia is a disease caused by Streptococcus pneumoniae. This is bacteria name, and this pneumonia is the infection of the alveoli of the lungs. Now about the symptoms for the pneumonia: fever, chills, cough, cold, pain, headache, lips and fingernails turn grey, and the disease is spread by inhaling of the droplets released by the infected person. If any infected person with the pneumonia can release the droplets by sneezing, then another person will get infected by the droplets, and also by sharing of the items. So any person who is suffering from the infected disease, that is infectious disease, so that person should be isolated. Okay, like we are talking about what? We are talking about pneumonia now. So this pneumonia is infectious, so the person who is suffering from this pneumonia should be isolated, should be kept separated, so that the droplets will not be inhaled by the uninfected person. If the droplets are inhaled, then the other person will also be infected, and also by sharing of items. So now we will talk about the viral disease. We have spoken about the two diseases, like the pneumonia, and also we have spoken about typhoid. So many diseases like tuberculosis, cholera, anthrax are also caused by bacteria. Right? Now we will talk about some of the viral disease like common cold, where you can see that nose and respiratory tract infection is there. There's nasal congestion, you cannot breathe properly, sore throat is also there, you have cough, headache, you all have suffered from common cold, right? So how it is transferred from one person to another? By inhalation of the droplets. Again here, by inhalation of the droplets, the infection will go into the other's body. And also through contaminated books, pens, doorknobs, like this. So if any person is suffering from common cold, one should be aware of this, and he or she should be kept isolated, and always use a handkerchief while sneezing and coughing. Right? There are other viral diseases also, like you have AIDS is a viral disease which is caused by human immunodeficiency virus. And what is AIDS? Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This is also caused by the virus. Okay, the virus name is human immunodeficiency virus. But how the disease is spread and how it is spread from one person to another? By sharing of the needles, okay, by blood transfusion methods, if there are any chance of sharing of needles, by sharing of the body fluids, okay, like this way AIDS can be transferred from one person to another. So this is a very dangerous viral disease which may kill the people, because here the immunity of the person is disturbed. That is why it is called what? Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Right? So like this, common cold, influenza, dengue, AIDS, all these are type of viral disease. So now we will talk about the protozoas which also cause disease like what? Malaria. So now we will talk about the protozoan disease, the diseases that are caused by protozoas. Okay, these are small microorganisms that cause disease. So protozoas cause what type of disease? Malaria. What is the protozoa name? Plasmodium. But who will spread the disease from one person to another? Mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquito bite causes what? Malaria, because this plasmodium will be transferred from one person to another through this Anopheles mosquito, right? So Anopheles female will bite one person. If that person is suffering from malaria, then the cells of plasmodium will be transferred to another person when it bites the other person. Okay, so from one person to another, what is transmitted? Plasmodium, which is the protozoa, who will carry the vector, that is the mosquito, Anopheles female mosquito. Okay, so one of the disease that is caused by protozoa is malaria. Now another type of disease is elephantiasis filariasis, which is caused by the protozoa Wuchereria bancrofti or Wuchereria malayi. Okay, here the lymphatic vessels are affected in the body, and you can see that legs are swollen like elephants. That is why it is called what? Elephantiasis. This is caused by the female mosquito vectors. When the female mosquito bites, Culex mosquito, then it can be transferring what? Wuchereria bancrofti protozoa, and it will cause what? Elephantiasis, where the legs are swollen like elephants. So that is why it is called what? Elephantiasis. So we have spoken about what? Malaria. This is filariasis or elephantiasis. These are caused by what? Protozoa. Now let us talk about ringworm. So ringworm is caused by the fungi. Okay, this is a fungal disease. The names of fungi are written here: Microsporum, Trichophyton, Epidermophyton. These are the names of the fungi which cause was ringworm. And what are the symptoms? Dry, scaly lesions. The skin becomes dry and scaly, and there is a lot of itching. So how it can be transferred from one person to another? By soil or by using the towels, cloths, and comb of the infected person. So if you are using common items at home, or when you are going to relatives house, if you are using these common items like towels, clothes and combs, then there is a chance of infection of this ringworm, because one person can suffer from ringworm, and this disease can be transmitted to the other one through this type of items which are shared among each other. Okay, so this is disease which is caused by the fungi. So now we have discussed about what? Bacterial disease. We have discussed about viral disease. We have discussed about protozoan disease, and now we have discussed about the fungal disease, that is the ringworm. Now we will talk about the preventive measures, like how to prevent these diseases. When these diseases are there, so how to prevent? Personal and public hygiene should be maintained. Okay, we have to maintain personal hygiene also, and publicly also you have to maintain the hygiene. Then body cleaning, consumption of clean drinking water, fruits and food. Everything should be neat and clean. Whenever we are consuming water or food or fruits, everything should be neat and clean, properly sterilized and then taken. Public hygiene should be maintained, like proper disposal of waste, cleaning and disinfecting of water reservoirs, pools and tanks, and also in the public catering system, hygiene should be maintained. Okay, so all these things should be taken care of. Mainly, what is the point? Maintaining public and personal hygiene, cleanliness. Okay, right. So if you not maintain cleanliness, then you cannot be healthy. So personally and publicly, hygiene should be maintained. So in the public places, the disposal of waste is the main thing, and whenever there is a chance of contamination, like in the pools and water reservoirs, cleanliness should be maintained. Now, how will you prevent this malaria and filariasis? You very well know that these are caused by the mosquito bite. So what will you do? Avoiding stagnation of water, regular cleaning of household coolers, okay, use of mosquito nets. You have to use mosquito nets. Some fishes like gambusia can be introduced into the ponds which feed on what? Mosquito larvae. Then spraying of insecticides. You all know insecticides can be sprayed in different places so that this larvae are killed. And wire mesh, you have seen wire mesh are put in the windows and doors to prevent the mosquitoes to get inside. Okay, so these things should be followed to prevent what? Malaria and filariasis. Like, you know, mainly what is the thing? To avoid stagnation of water, and also what is the thing? To spray insecticides. Mosquito nets and door meshes, wire mesh like this, it should be used so that this type of diseases can be prevented. So now we have got this preventing of infectious disease by vaccination, antibiotics and other drugs. So today we have discussed up to this much, and we will discuss in details about the vaccination and antibiotics in the next lecture. So today we have already discussed about the disease that are caused by bacteria. Now so many diseases are there, but we have discussed a little bit. We have given some examples. We have discussed about the viral disease and also fungal disease with the disease that is caused by the protozoas. Okay, so in the next class we will be discussing something related to this chapter which is still left. So before that, you try to read up to this much.